Ever wondered which are the biggest slums in Africa? In the next few seconds, you discover the largest slums on the continent. Slums are heavily populated urban areas with poor housing and no tenant security. They often lack clean water and proper sanitation. Sub-Saharan Africa has some of the worst slums globally. List of the biggest slums in Africa and their estimated population. Number 1 is Kibra, is the largest slum in Africa with an estimated population of 700,000 people. Located 6.6 kilometers from Nairobi city center, it is characterized by high rates of unemployment, extreme poverty with residents earning less than $1 a day, and insecurity. Kibra, which also doubles up as the largest slum in Kenya, has few schools, lacks ample access to clean water, and residents suffer from various diseases caused by poor hygiene and lack of toilets. Due to unemployment, many young people in Kibra engage in sport activities and others seek self-employment in the informal sector. Number 2, Mata. One thing that makes Mata one of the biggest slums in Africa is that it is a collection of many informal settlements in Kenya's capital city. The area has a population of approximately 500,000 people, according to the New York Times. Mata Valley, one of the oldest slums that make up Mata, has had many health and social challenges over the years, including cholera outbreaks and insecurity. Poor planning has also made it difficult for people to access clean drinking water and sanitation lines. Number 3 is Ajigona. Ajigona is an informal settlement and the largest slum in Lagos, Nigeria. The locals describe it as a jungle city and an area that swims in a pool of neglect. The baseline population of the area in 1995 was 156,000. In 2006, the local planning authority projected a population estimate of 500,000. Ajigona is a Lagos suburb notorious for its insecurity, high poverty levels, and poor living conditions. It is one of the country's most oppressive and worst ghettos. But at the same time, the place, where riches dwells, is the birthplace of music and football superstars like Daddy Shoki and Taribo West. Number 4 is Shomolu. Shomolu or Somolu is a town in Lagos State, southwestern Nigeria. The area has a population of 402,673, according to Britannica. As a residential suburb in Lagos, Somolu faces many challenges of poor housing, overcrowding, and lack of sanitation. Although the residents engage in activities like printing and leather handicrafts, many of them live below the poverty line. Lack of infrastructure also makes it challenging for them to access social amenities like schools and hospitals. Number 5 is Kerlicha, is one of many South Africa slums with an estimated population of 400,000 people. The partially informal township located in Cape Town is also one of the fastest growing townships in the country. Like many other shanties in the world, residents here lack ample water, toilets, employment, and security. Over the years, the government of South Africa has brought about many developments in the area. Some include the construction of brick housing, schools, and creating a central business district. But because of high levels of unemployment and insecurity, the quality of life has not improved for many residents. Number 6 is Kozenga, is the most densely populated municipality in the province of Luanda, Angola, and one of the many poor slums in Africa. The 2014 census results showed the area has a populace of 880,369 people. Because it is a large area that covers 37 square kilometers, over 400,000 people live in slums. Kozenga has fewer tarred roads, and some townsmen lack electricity. Its poor state makes people vulnerable to insecurity and diseases like cholera. In recent times, the Angolan government has stepped up plans to replace the shanties with well-built apartment blocks. While the initial phase of the project looks promising, Kozenga still remains well put and its populace hasn't reduced yet. Number 7, Makoko. Makoko is one of the largest slums in Nigeria. Although Makoko is not the largest slum in the world, It is one of the worst slums in the world. It is an area characterized by wooden shacks built on stilts in a thickly polluted lagoon. Many residents do not have proper housing and most opt to live in canoes. The primary source of employment for more than 300,000 people is fishing. Since most of them live in makeshift homes of scraps and wood elevated on stilts, they do not have access to clean water, learning institutions, electricity, and medical centers. Number 8 is Alexandra. Alexandra is a township in the Gauteng province and one of the largest slums in South Africa. It has an area of over 800 hectares with an infrastructure that can only accommodate about 70,000 people. But because of migration and overpopulation, the 2011 census shows the area had a population of 179,624 people. The population was unplanned for and has overcrowded the initial infrastructure constructed in 1912 to accommodate the residents. As a result, the dwellers face challenges like lack of sewers and access to water lines. Number 9 is Mukuru. Njenga is one of the largest and poorest slums in the capital of Nairobi, Kenya. Its population exceeds 100,000 people. The residents of the area live in poor conditions with no access to fundamental services like water and accommodation. Although schools and hospitals exist, they are not enough to serve the more than 100,000 people. Also, many residents have no tenure as security, which makes them vulnerable to evictions. Number 10 is Agbogbleshi is the name given to a slum city in South Ghana. It is a densely settled area that lies in the commercial district of the Coral Lagoon. This region has an estimated population of 80,000 people, most of whom lack access to sanitation and clean water. As a result of its poor living conditions and insecurity, people call the area Sodom and Gomorrah. Agbogbleshi is also one of the world's digital dumping grounds. Its reputation as the dumping place for electronic waste has made it a subject of many documentaries from world-renowned media houses around the world. The biggest slums in Africa are situated in sub-Saharan Africa. They account for about 62% of people living in slums in the world. Many governmental and non-governmental bodies have put efforts to better the life in the unceremonious settlements in Africa. But challenges still exist in the improvement of the quality of life of people living in those areas, especially because of an increasing population, high rates of unemployment, and insecurity. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.